Um, but I wanted to get your explanation, or if you could kind of give the people out there a little bit of a music industry inside reason as to why, when the Tupac songs came out after he passed, the decision was made to remix them.
Yeah, that's a good question. I see in the comment section a lot of people always saying, boy, man, I want to hear the remix, the original version, the version that Tupac did, or a lot of that was done on samples, you guys. And I've explained to y'all before about how you really can't generate any money and all of that from samples, songs with samples in it. Some samples will have yourself cease and desist. Don't even want 100% of the money. Just don't want their music their music or their creativity associated to that type of music. Prince had a big issue with that when his wife was mad at him, and Prince would not allow a lot of songs to be sampled when he was married to this one particular chick that you remember when they had him doing uh, the kids stories and all of that stuff. Um, she was big on that. I think that's when he went to a symbol from Time Warner and all of that issue. But my point is, it was done mainly because the sample clearings, it wasn't no disrespect or anything to Johnny J. But Johnny J knew his job. His job was mainly there just for Tupac to lay down lyrics, and then he was going to eventually go find a song or a beat to match those particular songs that he did and rewrap them. And so there were never any attempt for all of those particular songs for Tupac that he was on that got leaked to be out there in that form. It was just something to keep up with Tupac, who was a workaholic and was picky on his beats. So you got a person that liked to write a lot, but also was, just as much critiqued about his lyrics, it was about beats that he would, lay his lyrics on. And so that's why we tried to do the best. I know we didn't do a good job at it. I hear y'all. But y'all can't say that about Changes, even though that was a sample. But yeah, I'll admit, a lot of the songs that came out until the end of time, y'all might didn't like as much as, y'all would have, because y'all know Tupac didn't lay his stamp on it, which that was the thing. Tupac was that way. Dr. J was that way. Those two were no longer with us. So we can't make a dash. No disrespect to Hutch. Love the Hutch and Brother Law, who did a lot of it. Edie, who was trying and was learning at that time on his producing side, and whoever else worked on the tracks. Reggie Moore, QD3, all of them. You couldn't expect them to be on the level of a Tupac or a Dr. Dre, because they still haven't, they still weren't today. All right? So the real reason, and to make it short, that the songs were done, number one, because you can't benefit, or it was hard to get some songs cleared, or if you got them cleared, you would have to share a lot of the money. One. Two, and more importantly, they wasn't intended to be released in those forms. The intent was just to be there for something like a demo. It was pretty much a demo. It was just there for Pac to lay some tracks down, and then he later was going to pick a unsampled or possibly a sample track. Who knows? He used a lot of samples on All Eyes on Me, if you go back and listen to it, but a different song beat for those particular tracks was the intent, and that's why we thought, and anybody else, when M got to it and everybody else got to it, we thought our intent was to make the track more updated, sound better or current. And I'll be the first to admit, maybe we didn't live up to you guys' expectations for that, because I hear a lot of you guys, and I even talked to Molly of the estate about that about maybe a month or two ago. They're like, hey, I think the fans would like to have an album put out with the songs in their original forms. And their response was, yeah, we're aware, we've been hearing the same thing as well. But I don't think they would ever do it because it's not a good business decision. So y'all keep downloading them and going to swap meets and find those Machiavelli tracks, because that's about the best quality I think you guys are going to get. Unless an AI take over and do something good. But then you still need somebody good enough to do those beats and meet your approval. So yeah, that's the history behind that.
So do you think there's a chance they'll ever put out original versions or not?
I think the new owners, oh man, may doing on with the streaming stuff to bring awareness to something. I don't know, y'all. I really don't know. I've been talking to the estate a lot recently, and I'll keep pushing it for you guys, because I read your comments. I hear what y'all be saying, and I'll keep pushing it down. But if it, man, DJ Quick told y'all in 1995, what did he say? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Fortunately, y'all, that's the American way. That's the American way, y'all. And we got to learn to accept that and understand that.
The interesting thing, though, about that is, and I always thought that this was done purposely, but then, you know, I learned otherwise talking with you, but after Tupac passed, every song that Death Row put out between Tupac passing and until the end of time were all originals. So Gridlocked, all original versions. Gang Related, all original versions. Two Gates with Radio, all original versions. Chrono 2000,
Well,
all original versions.
and you got to remember, we were picking from the best of the best then. Gang Related and Gridlock, Pac had pretty much, he was still involved. Even though those albums came out a year after his death or whatever, he was working on those movies, and matter of fact, he was supposed to do a song with Kumo D, I think, on Gang Related. They were supposed to record something that week. So he was working on things for the movie soundtrack, because we knew we had the soundtrack to those particular movies. That was a deal for him, you know, being involved in those movies. And so he was already kind of having a game plan of what he wanted and what he wanted in the movies, or what he wanted to present to the music director. That was your boy Happy. Happy Walters was the music director on Gang Related, or was it Gridlock? One of them. But people like that, the music, when y'all see the name music supervisor, those are the ones who has the final say-so to what they call scoring in a movie. Is the movie, whenever y'all see the name movie supervisor, that's the guy who generally are the ones that pick what songs goes into the movies. And the label generally controls the soundtrack, but yeah, the movie supervisor usually have a lot of say-so for what songs is going to be scored in the movie. Yeah, that's a big job for those of y'all that really want to be in the business and really believe you know how to pick music and songs for movies. Look up and try to score movies for music. It's a big job.